QPAD have sent me these, and thank you very much to them for sending these out for review. This is the OmniBeam RGB Mic Pro and the QPAD Mark Model 3, so we'll give both of these a quick go. And actually, I've been looking for a new gaming mouse. Unleash precision and see everything. There we go. That'll be good then. And the anti-slip things of your choice. Very lightweight. Doesn't have a DPI button though. Unless that's a DPI button there. We'll see. You've got Bluetooth, you've got 2.4 gig, and I guess you've got wired as well. Got this thing with a little screen on it as well. Pretty luxe, and a nice cable. Let's just go straight in quickly just to give it a go. Yeah, that certainly does the trick. And is that a DPI button? Yeah, I think it is. 5 settings. Very slow there. Cool. I'm guessing this is the 2.4 gigahertz job. Bit unnecessary, but cool. Little keypad screen there. This turns it on and off. Now turn it to 2.4 gigahertz. And there we go. That's quite neat though, isn't it? Oh look, it tells you the polling rate, tells you the DPI, so whatever you're on. Tells you the battery as well. So I'm pretty pleased with that actually, yeah. And that is a reason to have a little screen, isn't it? So it turns out it is a little bit necessary actually, because I keep pressing that DPI button on the corner of my mouse mat, which, okay, if you've got a perfectly flat mouse mat, like their glass pad actually, which is in another video you could check out, you won't have that issue, but accidentally on my desk anyway, I keep accidentally pressing that button, so at least I can see what setting I'm now in. And that's honestly the only thing that I don't really like about this mouse. It might be a little bit small for some of you, it might be a little bit lighter than some of you prefer, but generally I really like this mouse. I mean, how much is that? Because it's not bad, is it? Okay, it's 100 quid mouse. No, it's at 80 quid in place as well. In the UK it's Curry's and it's 100 quid. You don't have extra buttons, but you do have the forward and backward browser buttons. You don't have left and right there, you just have click. I think that's pretty neat. I'm going to be using that. And then lastly from QPAD, thank you very much for sending me this one as well, the OmniBeam. And we might as well stick this in and give it a little go, I suppose. 120 quid from Curry's. Smooth unboxing as always. I have been thinking about replacing my microphone though. I use the lapel mic for streaming actually, and for all my recording. The one I've got, whenever I use it, I just think, you know, it clips a little bit too often. So I might just give this a go for a while. It's got a little mounting plate there, but you do want to mount a microphone like this where possible onto a boom arm. It's got this like shock absorber thing here, so it won't pick up vibrations from the table. Whereas this, when I plug this in, if I touch the table, you'll hear it pop, and that's no good. If you can be really disciplined with it, just for voiceovers, it can be all right. It's got lots of different sound patterns. It's obviously USB, but I don't think there's any. Oh no, it does have a 3.5 out, but there's no XLR or anything fancy like that. I think that's an out anyway. Yeah, it's bi-directional as well, so you can have it being if you want a conversation with 2 people. That's this one here. Cardioid is the normal, that's the general pattern of most mics. Stereo if you wanted to, you know, record something that left and right mattered, and omnidirectional is what it says. It's got a mute button on top, it seems. Well, it doesn't click, so I don't know what that's all about. Oh, it does it spin. And volume is left and right on the top there as well. So rotate that left and right for volume. Cool, so I'll leave it on cardioid. Importantly, it's got RGB lighting. It's pretty nice. Okay, and then I'm going to switch this stream to it. QPAD OmniBeam. There it is showing. And here we go. So what do you think? You'll have to let me know. I'll just test out a few different things. I'll leave it out and try not to touch the table. So that is the cardioid pattern. Up is higher volume and down is lower volume. But no way of knowing where the end is to that. I wish I could know, because I would obviously set that right in the middle. I guess the red. Oh, wouldn't it be clever if it wouldn't it be clever if it would clip, if it would go red when it's clipping? I just have no way of telling at this point. Oh, that touch is muted. And that's now not muted. So yeah, I wish the RGB would do that. LED indicator, it says. So condenser microphone, minus 35 dB is the sensitivity. 50 Hertz to 20 kilohertz response. And then it's headphone output as well for monitoring. USB 2.0. So RGB is mic on and light off means mic muted. That's all that means. It doesn't tell you anything about the volume. Oh yeah, it does though when you spin it. So bright green is 100%. Yellow is 50%. Okay, yeah, so it does there. But what I mean is, like, why not, whilst I'm talking to it, why not go red when it was at the, like, you know, when it was clipping? That would be useful. Press and hold the mute button for about 5 seconds to enter the light effect mode. There you go, content. So different lights. Cool. After 5 seconds and then continue to work. Okay, so that's the cardioid. This is omnidirectional now. It's the omnidirectional. This is the bidirectional, or rather the stereo, I should say. And then this is the bidirectional, which is the face-to-face. So essentially, focus on what's in front of the mic. So if I click behind it, I shouldn't hear that so much. Omnidirectional should hear that as well. Directional, you probably won't hear it because it's probably not coming through anyway. And then face to face should be front and back. I guess the back should be equal to the front. Okay, well, I'm gonna stop the stream now. I'm gonna have a little listen to that and let you know what I think. And yeah, it's been good. Quite like these little QPAD bits. I'm quite impressed with bits and bobs from them, so thank you very much to them for sending those things out. Let me know if you've got any questions about the stuff that I've presented to you today, and I will be back again soon with some more content, I am absolutely sure. Just put it back on cardioid, which is your normal selection there. And I'm going to find out whether this will fit into my existing shock mount or not. That's the question, isn't it? And whether I think it's better than the Rode that I have been using is another question entirely. Whether it's actually worth changing to that, I don't know. This is the Rode NT USB, which you've listened to me before earlier on in this video actually, and just generally any voiceovers mainly have been done with this microphone on my channel. Incidentally, you heard quite a little bit of noise with me playing about with the controls. You won't get that in ordinary use with the QPAD, but if you do listen to the sections where it was on cardioid and I was speaking a proper distance from the microphone, actually it gave you a really full and rich sound, and I'd be tempted to carry on using it, so it's a recommend from that point of view. Audio is really tricky to get right. This one seems pretty easy to use, and I'm sure you get a lot of high quality recording out of it if you were to go down this route. It doesn't fit in my shock arm though, so I think I'll be sticking with the Rode NT USB just simply because it's there and working. If it's not broken, then don't fix it, I guess. And if you notice that the audio was a little bit out of sync, then that's not a problem with the microphone. That's just a problem with my streaming software. It's one of the reasons why I use the lav mic into the camera when I'm recording my live streams. I've been using the QPAD microphone for a little while whilst I've been editing on this machine after my trip to Barcelona, and it's been a good time. I've found it like just a little bit difficult to judge the actual input volume without looking at the sliders in Premiere. So whenever I could see the volume bar there, then I could actually judge whether it was the right volume or it was actually clipping. And you can see that the LED does change depending on the value that you're giving it, which red is kind of the wrong way around though, because red's too low it seems. That's totally off at the minute. And green is where it's really starting to clip. So I just think they missed a trick there, because I would like it as I was speaking to be the same colors as a little decibel meter. I think that would be really, really nice. I've just been using it on a cardioid as you'd expect. And yeah, the sound quality has been absolutely fine out of it, just as you would expect. It's a really nice little microphone. I quite like that. The QPAD mouse, I'm really enjoying it. It's just become my main mouse on my main PC, and I do really like it. It feels a little bit small, but I like how light it is. And actually, I quite like the little screen which sits behind it there, and it tells you the polling rate is currently on, it tells you the DPI, and it gives you an indication of the battery as well, so you can just, when you get near to that 10-20%, you can just plug it in for a bit. I think it's quite nice. I think they're really nice little bits of gear. Thanks once again to QPAD for sending them out for review. If they've got the feature set that works for you, I recommend them. Not got the absolute plethora of different programmable buttons that you can sometimes get on mouses now, but it's a quality mouse and certainly isn't holding me back at all.